This is Joy from Michigan in the United States, and I am going to do a quick reverse dip today. I think that's what it's called. So I just have a few colors that I'm working with today, and this is not a technique that I've mastered yet, so this could be really interesting. But I get my inspiration from Jilly Cube, and so I'm going to follow her lead and show you my successes as well as my failures. So I'm using just, it's like wood block, 6.65 inches by 6.65 inches. This poor thing has been through the ringer. I think I've tried to paint on it 4 times. So hopefully this one will be a keeper. The nice thing about this wood block, I got it at Hobby Lobby, and it was on clearance. It already had a painting on it, and I just sanded it down and then put my own painting on it. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully today this one will be a success. I am hoping to be brave enough to share these videos. This is going to be my art therapy journey. The quarantine due to COVID-19 has been pretty hard on me emotionally. We have a lot going on in our household. There's a lot more than just COVID, but I think it all adds up to I need to be pursuing this more often. I need to be using this as the tool that it can be. So there you go. That's my 2 cents on that. This is just a titanium white background. I do most of my poured paintings with a wet background. You can do it dry, but I prefer it wet. I think it's easier to work with. So that's just me. I'm going to pop some air bubbles using my creme brulee torch, just so that we keep things smooth. You could probably get away without doing that, but I prefer that. So the colors I'm using today, let's see if I can remember my colors that I'm using, the names of them. This first color is, I'm going to mispronounce it, Quinacridone Magenta, and then I have, and that's from Liquitex, and I have Liquitex Turquoise Blue, and then Master's Touch Phthalocyanine Blue. This is Hobby Lobby brand. Unfortunately, I can't get that right now. They were sold out, so I'm using Liquitex instead, which I may find I like better anyways, but we'll see. And then I have, this is the, what's the name of it? Cadmium Yellow Hue Medium, I believe, in Liquitex. Cadmium Yellow Medium, yeah. And then I added some 24 karat gold to it just to kind of give it that sheen, and that's from Deco Art, the Extreme Sheen, which I really love. I've used that before in another pour, and it's just a really gorgeous color. And then I have the titanium white, but I added the Liquitex iridescent medium to that. And I can't show you it because I don't know where, oh, here it is. So I added a good amount of this, probably more than I needed to, but this is my first time working with this, so we'll see how that works. But it will hopefully give my white just a little bit of a shine to it, more of a metallic feel. So, guys, I don't have any idea what colors I'm going to do first. Oh, I did add the Phthalo Blue. I added some white just because I feel like this is a beautiful color, but I don't feel like I can see it in my paintings well enough. I want it to pop a little more, so I want it to be not quite so dark. I have a little hair. One of the things I love about Jilly Cube's art is no stress, and so I'm going to try to follow that same way of thinking. No stress. There's a little hair there, we'll take it out, no worries. And this is not a technique that I've done very often, so you guys get to see how I learn. I don't know how much paint I need. So we'll find out. I think probably I already put too much on, but we'll learn together. I meant to start with the white. Oh well, live and learn. And I've mixed these paints fairly thick. This one's really thick. I might actually, that maybe should have been thinned down a little. So I'm used to doing, just gonna try to recenter that just a little bit. I'm used to doing Dutch pours. That's where I started with poured paints. I love Dutch pours. They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of mess. They're a lot of noise. So right now my puppy is sleeping, so a lot of noise is not a good choice. So let's see. I'm gonna do one more layer, just small amounts now. I am gonna get the iridescent white in between the two blues and see what that does. Oh, a little drip there. It is a cloudy, rainy, dreary day in Michigan. Hopefully the sun is shining where you are. We're kind of in that season in spring where we have a lot of gray days. We have that in the winter too. I don't do well in the winter. It's too cloudy for me. All right, so the yellow I saved just for the middle, which I don't know, we'll see. That may be the right choice and it may not be. I feel like this is still a little off center. So I just tilt it gently and hopefully I can recenter it that way. All right, here goes the gold in the middle. And I always mix up way more paint than I think I need, because if I screw up and I have to scrape this, I don't have to remix the colors. So there's my puddle. I'm going to run a skewer through it. So I'm using not the pointy end. I do use that if there's something in the paint that I need to get out, but the flatter end. And I'm just gonna start going in towards the middle. And then wipe it off between each time. And you can see it kind of gives a petal effect that hopefully will look really, really pretty. All right, I don't know, guys. I feel like I made this flower too small, so I'm gonna try to stretch it. Let's see, you have to be really careful when you stretch this because you don't want to lose your shape. So you'll see I'm gonna stretch it one way and then sort of stretch it back, but I feel like it's just returning to the same size. I don't know, do I or don't I add more paint? Let's just get rid of some of the white on the background and see if that helps. And I've taped the sides of this square, although at this point, this square is just a test cube, so I'm not too worried about what the back of it looks like or what the edges of it look like. I had a different plan for this cube originally and it just didn't work. And sometimes that happens and that's okay. All right, guys, I don't know. I feel like I've lost some of my shape, but okay. I'm not going to try to recenter it. I'm going to try to get it to where the shape of the flower is making me happy, rather than worry about location of the flower, if that makes sense. Kind of like that. All right, so I don't know, guys. I'm just gonna try to clean this up just a little bit. I may just be muddying it, we'll find out. Try to round my corners off a little bit. Okay. I think I'm going to call that good. So I'm going to take a piece of paper towel and some water. I'm just gonna, oh, my sprayer's set to like trigger happy. I've seen this done both ways. You can do it with a wet paper towel or dry, but because my paints are so thick, I wanted to try wet, and because that's the way I've done it before. So we'll see how this works. They always say how important it is to place your towel down correctly. Ah, it's the scary part. Because you don't want any air. Ah, yay, I feel like it went on good. Okay. So normally, a lot of people want gloves. I don't wear gloves. I don't mind paint on my hands. So I may have put a little too much water on this though. So just kind of pat so the paint adheres to the paper towel. I'm gonna see if I can maybe move a little bit of that. That might be the wrong decision, but all right, so the hardest part of this from what I've experienced is lifting the paper towel back off. So we'll see if I can, I'm not gonna talk during this part so I can focus. Ah, so that is not what I was hoping for. It's pretty, I like the colors together, but yeah, just not what I was hoping for. Let's see if we can stretch it into a feather. Like my gold all disappeared. There was no middle there. So let's see what we can do with this. Can you guys see my wheels turning? The paint's not moving much. I was hoping I could make this feather a little bigger, but that's not gonna work, so that's okay. We will just see what we can do. I think that's the name of the game. With poured paintings, you have to learn how to just roll with it because you never know. You never know what it's gonna look like. You never know how it's gonna turn out. I don't know. Don't really want to lose all this wispiness up here, but oh, my hand's not real steady today. Alright, so I'm going to follow Jilly's cue and record my mess ups as well as my successes, or as she would say, her masters and her disasters. So let me know what you guys think. Is this a keeper? Is this a scraper? So when I have a painting that I like this yellow there, the gold there, that's sure pretty. If I look at this and decide, you know, hey, I just don't like the look of it. It's just not, doesn't make me happy. I will go ahead and scrape it and then start again. This poor block will have 5 paintings. So I am going to torch it because there are a lot of air bubbles. So. And I think I will let this be. I don't know, maybe I could add some add a quote to it, or I'm just trying to expand my color here a little bit. I'm trying to be very careful because I feel like it looks pretty good and I don't want to mess it up. I do have a tendency to overwork my pieces and then I'm not happy with the end result. So let's see, we need a little bit more. And I'm just wiping this off on paper towel. I really don't like all that white. Oh good, I got some of that out. And I'm getting cells. That's these little bubble things here. I did not use silicone, which is what you would usually use if you wanted cells, but I did use floetrol as my pouring medium. And I've heard it said over and over and over that floetrol will always give you cells. So just trying to pick up some of that color. I feel like that wispy went too far. So be brave when you paint. Feel free to play in it. Let it do its own thing and enjoy the process. Like that's, for me, that's the biggest thing, is just enjoy the process because it's so therapeutic if you let it be. Try to add a little teal in there. Maybe I'll add a little magenta. So I'm just dipping my stick into the paint, and then I just see if I can just add just a little bit. Oh, that's pretty. And it will look at it. It won't. So if you like the look before I did this, then don't go any further. But I feel like this just needed a little something, and I'm hoping that because this paint is still so wet, these colors that I'm adding will just blend in and not have this huge dark blue line or pink line. You know, we can just I don't know. Was hoping to get some of the lacing like Fiona does, and that just didn't happen. Although that might be part of where my cells came from. So I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think. Give me your suggestions. Not loving this one, but generally in art, if you don't love it, someone else will. So that's it for today. I will see you on the next one. Just wanted to show you guys a close-up facing the right way because it's upside down for you guys. I like this area here that I didn't mess with as much better than the others. But there you go. There's the finished wet piece. I'll show dry pictures once it's dry.